It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders. Next on Madden Football.
EA Sports, always proud to bring you the National Football League as we join you from Northwest Stadium, just outside Washington, D.C.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading him out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
First carry of the game for Brian Robinson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing now is Daniels. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
To the air goes Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he'll be ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 15-yard line.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. In motion left goes a tight end.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And Jackson throwing once more.
Able to locate Andrews here on the out route.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Point after try forthcoming. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
Robinson up the middle.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And they'll accept that penalty.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On the bootleg, it's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Daniels.
And his throw is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Here's Daniels. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Jackson now.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
They go play action with Jackson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
And that flag accepted.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Jackson from the shotgun. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Following the fumble recovery, Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Give to Robinson on the option. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter down from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Daniels looking to throw. Open man is Noah Brown. His first catch good for 8 and a first down. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now Daniels. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop. and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 17-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the Stix. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum, because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
On the give, here's Robinson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
Robinson is in. Touchdown, Commanders. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
Here's Jackson to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a 2nd and 6.
To throw is Jackson. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now he's forced out right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson in the Commander offense.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. And incomplete. He dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And he is going to lose yardage here.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Working out of the gun, Daniels.
That's Samuel, caught left side. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away.
And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Now it's Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here of the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
A quick throw here out to Brown. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 7. This will be caught once again by Brown. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up. Throwing now is Daniels. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. To the air goes Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The Ravens offense back out there. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they'll get him down up past the 15. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected. but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That is caught. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Henry up the middle.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
It's a scintillating run by Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work.
Lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that makes it 14-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Washington offense set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They begin the drive with Robinson.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
To throw is Daniels.
This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Here's Daniels.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come up 2nd and 7.
Back to throw. Daniels. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 19. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the Stix.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to the ground with Robinson.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This a 2nd and 8.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Gay's kick is good, and the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. And we've got a dandy here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Jackson. That's complete left side to Bateman. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Escaping the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack, and speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
Flowers going to go in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Off the option, here's Henry.
They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Washington on third down.
They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jackson now. He finds Hopkins complete. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They go with the option on 4th down, left side. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Play action, now it's Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Henry.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Slot man moves right.
2nd down, they go again with Henry.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Now Washington
Trailing 14-13, a little under a minute 50 remaining. And they need at least 30 yards, you'd have to think, here to move the football to have a shot. He'll look to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
He's back to throw. That's to McCaffrey, complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll look to throw.
And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because
touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
So Washington now with an important 2-point conversion attempt.
Complete at the 1. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Dancing to his left. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Now Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Throwing, Jackson.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Andrews. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd down. Off the option, here's Henry.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
Well, they came so close, Charles. They were knocking on the door in a 1-possession game, but ultimately the defense held tough to get the victory.
And doesn't it feel like it just leaves them asking what could have been? So many moments when they could have had a big play to change the outcome of this game. And let's face it, none bigger than that final snap that just fell short.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.